All right, cracking crypto audience, Crypto Jack here. Fortunately, Justin Wise is away today, so I figured we'd not leave everybody hanging, give you a little update. Unfortunately, we have a little technical difficulties today, so we will be probably getting Justin back online later tonight for a little market update stream. Unfortunately, in the meantime, it's going to be just myself and Jason. Jason, you here, buddy?
How's it going, everyone? Can't argue with this BTC movement.
It's been a wild movement overnight, gentlemen. Of course, the breakout that I guess everybody was waiting for, but maybe caught some people offside. Of course, if you were sleeping on Bitcoin or if your portfolio wasn't allocated to Bitcoin overnight, you may be left hanging today. Of course, anybody trying to short, I guess 10.4 or
Well,
10.8. Yep.
that's the kind of thing that happens in these kind of situations is because everyone, as soon as okay, look how sideways we were for the last 2 months, basically. And everyone waits for the movement, waits for the movement, waits for the movement. And then as soon as we get a little piece of movement, everyone wants to short it. And I think that's really the wrong idea here, especially when you've seen like what's happened in 2017. We know that this can have a tendency to run. We don't know yet, but if you weren't in a BTC position, I don't believe what you should be doing now is rushing in. The only thing that, I mean, me, Justin, and Alex both talked about this as well. If you don't have any BTC in your portfolio, it wouldn't hurt to buy some spot, but I would not suggest getting into any kind of leverage position at this point because we could just linger up here. And what I do believe will happen myself is we will consolidate here at this 11,000 range, and it will give the USDT pairs on the side here, if you can see, that they are all starting to kind of have way better movements, kind of catching up to the price of what happened with Bitcoin. And one of the reasons why the group called a few USDT pairs yesterday. But if right now I believe is not the time to do anything with Bitcoin sitting where it is, because I mean being aggressive with this could get you burned because we could come back down here to retest the 9500 range. I do believe if we break below the 9500 range, that kind of will be a a break for me. I think that'll be a break in this whole market structure, and if that does happen, I will be kind of looking towards the almost like the 7400 range, to be honest with you. But one thing I do think it's important to remember here is looking at the Bitcoin futures market here and this gap sitting right here. Um, of course, to me, I'm going to wait on it because we don't have any kind of confirmation and these things can just wick. But I do believe that we will get this filled, whether that be today or in 2 weeks is really hard to know. It's kind of I want to wait a little bit longer here because a lot of people think that you always need to be in a trade, in a move, in something at all times. But when these things go sideways, that tends to be the moment that you no longer have faith in what you're doing. You can't stomach it going sideways or going a little bit in the direction of what you weren't planning for. And that's why it's so important to have a mechanical system that gives you a setup, that gives you targets right before it's done. And you know exactly what you're going to be losing if it does tend to go the opposite way. But I do think that this gap fill will be an important spot. Me, myself, I do have a couple small buys at 9,700 sitting there, just in case we do wick down there and grab that. I think that's going to shake out a bunch of people because let's be honest, people, your grandma's asking you about Bitcoin right now. Your dad, your people are coming out of the woodwork that you don't even know anymore are asking about Bitcoin. So the FOMO potential here, I mean, I don't think 12.5 is out of the question, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think if this thing breaks out, it's gonna rip roar like nobody's business. And if anybody remembers back to like 2017, once we broke above like 10, 12k, it was just wild. The run up that happened, the volatility that took us to 20k. I kind of agree with you. I'm gonna be patient here. I've got a couple limit orders set in case something does plunge down. So I've got one around like 90, 98ish, I guess, 92ish, kind of like yourself. Maybe when this gap does possibly fill in the CME. I did read a few stories today. Few analysts are saying are kind of predicting maybe a 20% correction from the 11 something top. So that would put us back in the 9Ks, and
Hmm.
I'm not sure if we're gonna go maybe below 9, but yeah,
Well, that's the thing. No one really knows.
of
The
course not.
important thing is to have a game plan for this, and it's it's absurd to believe that Bitcoin is just going to continue up forever because that's just not how markets work. But Bitcoin is also one of those things that can just blow your face off without even like, okay, this is way too far extended. It's run 4 grand. It's got to have a retracement. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to do anything. We could go all the way up to 12.5 or 14 before we get that gap fill. So just think about that when you're putting on leverage positions.
Totally, totally. So things are looking bullish, but I would proceed with caution at this point, and maybe, as you said, get your spot positions in. I do know that when we broke above 10, I kind of FOMO'd into a spot position. I think on like Sunday night or Saturday night. I can't remember when, but
Mhm.
and then I was a little bit regretful, and then I wake up in the morning and I think completely exploded. So I guess a little bit of a spot purchase was not a bad idea. But I'm gonna quickly look at the comments here. Let's see. Let's throw a few shout outs. Jordan Stotts, thanks for showing up early. Alex Ebersberger, David Rice, Ron Legato, I see you. Crypto Kevo. Let's see. Mr. Unicorn was here early. B-Flow, of course, a regular. Shoutouts to B-Flow. Yorick is here. Mr.
Trust me,
T-Dub.
trust me, Cyber Noob. I get it. I'm no Justin.
Uh,
It's I just make the funny videos from time to time, but being part of CC has allowed me to be a profitable trader for the last 5 months. So if that goes to speak for anything, it goes to show that I do believe that anyone can learn how to do this properly if they just make sure to really stick to your guns when it comes to risk management and build yourself a system that you actually trust. But in terms of what's going on in the market right now, I do believe that we'll get some consolidation at the 11,000 range from Bitcoin here. It could, like I said, it could go sideways here for a little bit, but I do believe that will give you time to look for opportunities in the USDT market. Um, what we have been looking at mostly in the group is the larger cap coins. Like we took a trade on BCH, EOS. XRP was a little bit too far extended for us to take yesterday, but we called BCH, USDT yesterday, which has already hit 2 of the take profits. EOS has already hit take profit 1, and REP is the one that's lagging a little bit behind, but up about 2%. So with Bitcoin doing what it's doing, you would be probably rewarded to look to the larger cap USDT pairs to catch up. So that's what me and the group, I do believe, are going to be looking at today in our meeting. But in terms of the other market, that's really where Justin thrives in the gold, forex, ETF, CFD market. So we will make sure to have him give an update on that, and hopefully we can get him out today, later in the day, if not for sure tomorrow. But we wanted to make sure that we at least kind of checked in with you guys. We really do appreciate you guys coming out every day. Of course, there's only one Justin, but
yep.
we do our best for you in the background.
For sure. Sorry again, guys, if you're joining late. Justin wasn't able to make it onto the show today. We had a few technical difficulties on his end, but we figured since we were already scheduled, we had a lot of people waiting. We had to at least update you guys. So this will be getting cut short today. If anybody has any chart requests or something they want to ask of Jason, or wants to have any
I appreciate that, B-Flow.
Any group updates, post them in the chat right now. We'll take a quick look at them. Otherwise, I think we're gonna once I think Justin gets back online today, we're gonna talk him into doing maybe a later show in the day.
Mhm.
I don't want to. With the market in the current position, I'm sure everybody's waiting to hear from the man about what's going on, and that's why I need to get Justin online for a later show tonight. So once again,
I
shout
can
out.
tell you for a fact he is not in a leveraged position on BTC right now, the same as me, because he also doesn't know where this is going to go. And that's why we chose to look for the USDT pairs yesterday. And I likely think unless we get some kind of movement that gives us continuation today out of BTC, we likely will not be taking a position leveraged on BTC. Of course, we do hold spot, so we're letting that ride. And of course, that feels great. So if you do not have some spot, I mean, I would just suggest having some spot in your portfolio. I mean, right now, it could go either way. So at least you can't be liquidated.
How's the stream quality, by the way, guys? If you're in the live chat, leave a comment. Is the stream quality okay? I forgot to turn off my VPN. If I turn it off now, it's probably gonna kill the stream. So please let me know if it's running
Um,
really crappy, guys. I think I read one comment saying it's running laggy. My apologies. I forgot to turn off the VPN. Again, I wasn't really ready to jump on the stream today. We kind of did this last second. With that said, T-Dub is asking for an ADA chart, whether BTC or
yeah,
USDT pairing.
let's look at it. Okay.
All right, respect to York.
ADA.
He says the stream's okay.
Boom, Binance. Okay, we're gonna look at USDT here. Okay.
T-Dub with the thumbs up. All right, thank you guys. Looks like the stream's running okay. Then VPN works anyway.
To be honest with you, could you go over to the chart there, Jack?
Yep, my bad. Yeah, your screen's up.
Okay, let's look here. I'm gonna go down to lower time frames, and this would be my 4-hour system. So looking at this, to be honest with you, it's got quite a bit of catching up to do on my 4-hour system to get over the baseline, which Parallax would be keeping me out without any rising explosion level. So looking at it on the 4-hour in this moment, I don't believe I would take a position. But looking at the 24-hour, if we keep holding this above and close above today, this could be a continuation signal for ADA, and I really do like this shelf around the 13.4, right where we dip down, a little baseline pullback. So I do believe we could see continuation out of ADA the same way that we have seen it out of EOS USDT, which is one that we took yesterday. See this pattern, it's almost the exact same pattern there. So I don't think it would be absurd to look at taking a position in ADA today. Um, like I said, I would want to get you down into a lower time frame, so in case that does blow up. Are they saying it's muted?
What's muted? Let's take a look.
Someone
Something
just
muted?
saying
Let me
it's
see here. Muted? Nope, not muted, guys. Not muted.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, ADA does look like it could go. I mean, that's what's so hard in these times of volatility. I mean, look at like the BCH call we did yesterday. That thing just went for it just out of nowhere, the same way that I believe that ADA is going to follow along. Like I said, I do believe that Bitcoin's going to sit up here and consolidate around the 11,000 range and then let all the USDT catch up. So I don't think ADA is a bad position right now. I don't want to tell you to do something that you shouldn't, but I wouldn't have a problem taking a position in ADA off this daily chart.
Yeah, alt season part 2 might be upon us at this rate. I mean, as long as Bitcoin maybe settles out and consolidates, like you say, along a certain price, we might very well see the altcoins continue their rip-roaring
Yeah.
activity.
And with all the movement that you got out of Bitcoin this past weekend, these are going to be positions to where you're like, okay, maybe I should have done that. And then all of a sudden, 1 hour later, it rips past all three take profits. So, like, this is one of those ones where you're kind of like, you kind of just kind of follow the volatility a little bit. But I do believe, like I said, that we're going to see the USDT pairs catching up.
Yeah, Damien Hughes says Shelly mainnet, hard fork that launches the Shelly mainnet is going to be launching, I think, tomorrow. So could be one of those buy the rumor, sell the news events, gentlemen. But
Never hurts.
yeah, well, the Cardano boys are seriously bullish for the last several months, and I mean, who can blame them? If you look
Well,
how
I
it's
mean,
performed, it's done really
you
well.
gotta. So as the XRP nation. So, but I will have to admit, I am in a position from in XRP myself, but it was more of a longer term hold that I picked up more towards the bottom. But it appears to be doing well as well today. Again, the same formation. This is why I'm going to take a chance and say it that I don't. I mean, at least do 0.5% risk on ADA, just so I don't feel terrible if it's wrong. But I really do believe ADA is going to be a runner here very quickly. I might actually look to find something to post for the group myself because I do like ADA here, looking at all the other charts and how everything else in the market's moving.
All right, maybe you can throw up ONT. I think it's Ontology USDT and
Yep.
Victor Fryer. Shout outs to him in the chat. Wook Chewy, what up? Okay, what up to Wook? Vishon, he's in the
Mhm.
chat. I'm just gonna throw a few shout outs to everybody here. Challenged Investor. All right, maybe you can throw up Ontology real quick.
Yeah, I got ONT up right now.
Do it.
ONT looks. I don't think ONT looks nearly as healthy here, especially if you go down to the 4 hour. Well, the 4 hours start beginning to move here, so we could be looking at the beginning of a movement, but for my 4 hour system, it's just not going to make it there. I'm getting the long signal now, and with this, I only have the three bar rule. So there would have to be an extremely large movement for this to be signaled for me. But just like the rest of the market, we could see. But I don't like how far below. I think this is going to need more time because even if this does break up to the baseline, you're still going to probably need a pullback. And then that would be the time to look. And by then, I do believe that the 4 hour system would reset. So I don't believe ONT looks very good here, but make sure to be watching this during the week because it could give you a very proper signal because it does seem to be lagging a tiny bit behind. And usually with those ones, you can get a much better signal because it doesn't tend to really whipsaw your indicators around and need you to reset. So ONT, as of right now, I don't like it, but could be a player in the next few days for sure, in my opinion.
All right, let's take a quick look in the chat. Wook says, still holding my pocket change of Ontology airdrop. Remember that? Yeah, the big Ontology airdrop. REP. What's REP again? Can you
Yep.
pull up REP?
That's Augur.
Auger, that's
And
right.
that is a trade that we did take yesterday. If you look here, it's the alert for my first TP. This is one of the only few that has not hit nor take profit, but this was more of a discretionary trade based on the group yesterday because we did like this big rejection down to the support level, which has held quite well. So we thought that based on just this kind of price action, it did warrant a position, at least an attempt at it. So far, we're up about um, 1.48% on this position. But I mean, if anyone else wanted to follow along, I mean, there probably is still a little bit of time for entry on this. That does not mean that this signal is going to work out. Of course, two of the signals that we posted yesterday are already in no loss situations. So I have no problem letting this run. I know that people in the group, when they saw this, they're like, why would you take this position? But it was a discretionary call that the group came together. And I mean, so far we're being rewarded, but time will tell. I do believe that rep will rip right back up there.
All right, very nice. Hope that answered your question. Who was it? Wook, I think, might have asked that. Either way, let's take a look. Let's see here. T-Dub's asking for Crow USDT. Maybe you can pull up crypto.com.
Crow, USDT.
Justin's ISP, I'm not too sure. Can you look at some forex? I've heard he's important.
Just based off this, I do like this shelf that Crow has began to build. I don't know if this is going to be I think this might pull back a little bit more, of course. If you were going to be in this, let's see. Yeah, you would have got in back here if you were following my 24-hour system. It would have got you in right here. And of course, you would have slayed through all of your take profits and likely be in trailing stop. But as of this position right here, I don't believe the risk of reward is there based on all these green candles. I think that you're going to need a pullback to maybe the 14.5 range, like the other ones you're seeing that they come back down to its shelf. But like I said, this could also run. But I don't like the risk of reward on this, so I would say no to Crow right now, unless you already have holdings in it, and then just see what happens, man. This is the time to let your runners run, let your winners run. Just let them keep going. Like everyone thinks they need to be in and out, but if you have a position and it's working well, just keep letting it go, update your trailing stop, and then make sure you're taking profit along the way.
Sure. Well, good advice there. Peckman says Justin's in Portland riding. He's leading the free world. Hey, Justin. Well, I'm not so sure if Justin is the
The leader of the free.
riding on the West Coast type, but then again, anything is possible. Maybe he's funding the resistance using Monero.
There you go.
How about that, right? Let me see here. You feel comfortable doing the forex or?
I mean, I can give you chart analysis, but I am not a big forex trader. I am learning everything I can from Justin in the meantime to be able to comfortably trade all markets, but I'm not going to sit back and say I'm any kind of professional
All right.
at trading forex, but I can look at a chart.
Well, SX or S180 or
Yep, I got it.
S180 XT says, yeah, Great Britain pound versus the New Zealand dollar. Take a look at that.
To be honest with you, on my system for the 24-hour, which I do believe Justin used to use a 60 on a 60 hole. Oh, wow. I mean, it's overextended, but today for my system would be giving you the first full confirmation system. So you get your long here. From Minx, my initiator gives it right there. Paralox then confirms on the next candle, but I do not have a rising explosion level, which is one of the stipulations of getting a full signal on my system. And then boom, today we will be getting a signal. So I would actually look for this. And this is one of the most important things that I've learned over my time in trading is that you're likely to get a pullback before the 24-hour close. So right now, this does look overextended, but make sure to look for it at close because you might get that slight pullback. Because right now, I would say if you were going to take this trade, take it at 50% risk because it's a little overextended. But if it does get that pullback, because a lot of people like to just jump the gun, like, oh, it's giving me a signal now. And if I get it now, 5 hours before the close, then it's going to be even better. And that, like 90% of the time, is not the case. And I've ran into that issue. So what I really try to do now is really wait for the candle close because it tends to give you a better entry. So I would definitely be looking at this at close because you definitely have evidence of continuation. You have volatility coming in. And to be honest with you, looking at this and looking at that shelf, you're about to come up to resistance here, and which is why I do believe you will get a pullback within the next 24 hours. That's why I don't think entering right here is the best idea. But then after that, I mean, you're looking at a TP of well, from here, this will come down because Quadriga, of course, moves. But about 196 be a good take profit. And then I do believe that this thing would run all the way up to your TP3 here to tap this. tap this top shelf. But again, I'm not a big forex trader as of now, but if I were treating this like anything else, I would be waiting for the daily close. And if all things are still according, my rising explosion level, WADA is going to be there no matter what. Minx has already signaled before, so now I have a 3 bar rule, and this would be a position I would take.
All right, very nice. I'm gonna read a couple comments real quick here. Let's see. York says privacy coins are a pretty decent part of his bag. I can see why. T-Dub says uses XMR with confidence when buying silver stacks. Very cool. The fact that you can, everybody talks trash about crypto. All these, let's put it this way: the precious metal, the gold bugs talk trash about crypto, but it's like, you know what?
Yeah, but they're gonna be holding it too soon.
You can, the crypto does appreciate, and you can always flip it into silver if that's what you want. So you can have the best of both worlds, gentlemen. Let's keep looking here. Peckman says, I have an opinion. I would love you to discuss DeFi. I call it DeFi Craic, as ETH is manipulating the prices, and why we saw what happened yesterday. Opposite will happen. With
You're more the
Tether,
DeFi guy, Jack.
with Tether, and we will see a nightmarish dump of Bitcoin. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what Peckman's getting at here. Maybe he means that maybe DeFi's popularity will soar, particularly because there's so many stablecoin like products on DeFi, and so I guess there's this concept, I guess, in Bitcoin land, right? If there's ever any problems with Tether, first sign of trouble with the centralized stablecoin known as USDT Tether, there would be immediate flight to safety into Bitcoin. Now, maybe what Peckman's suggesting here is if there was ever any trouble with Bitcoin, or for one reason people needed to flee from Bitcoin, they could very well flee into Ethereum or potentially into one of Ethereum's stablecoins or some other product on Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but I mean, that's the beauty of Bitcoin. It's likely the most sound and technically stable of all the cryptos. I'm not sure if it would be a very dark day for the crypto space if Bitcoin ever had a cataclysmic failure. I'm not sure if anything would really be considered refuge at
I
that.
don't believe either. I mean, at that point, I think if you see something like that, you're gonna see something that mimics the March meltdown, because nothing was spared in that moment.
Indeed.
You can't just have that big of a correction in everything and expect just one to make it. But that's also the argument on this is different because we had a pandemic and stuff like that. But I don't believe you're gonna see that monster crash
Uh,
without bringing everything else down with
Yeah,
it.
no doubt. I mean, honestly, the Bitcoin is the underpinning, is the foundation to this entire crypto casino. It would, to me, be inconceivable that Bitcoin would crash and something else would rise out of the ashes that quickly, or be, like I said, a refuge. But I guess we'll see. It's coming. Peckman says it's coming. For sure, Peckman, you may be right. I might have misunderstood what you mean, but we would have to certainly discuss that sometime. I saw another comment here by Dominic Dominic Pierre Marini says Bitcoin will not come back down. It's going up from here. There will be no correction until about 20,000. It's going to be mainstream media, my opinion, and I'm not a financial advisor. All right, Dominic. He's a Super Bowl.
Who is that guy that kept
Uh,
posting that the trader said Bitcoin will never go below 10,000 again?
I think that was Crypto Cat, or what was his name? Cat Moon Cat, something like that.
Cat or not, or
Cat or
something
not? Yeah, something like that.
like that. Yeah,
Cat or not.
and
Indeed.
he's about 5 for 5 on being wrong so far. So I do believe that gap fill is still in play. I do believe you could very well see that before 20, but you also could be right. We could have just a surge up to 20K and then a gigantic rejection. And if that did happen, I do believe that gigantic rejection would be a monster wick down and then bring you back over 10K. And that would be the moment that I would say
Well,
that.
here's here's what I think could be potential, and I think what might lend credence to this. We look back historically. My chart here, you can see this is 2019. Okay, and this is when the we had a major run up. Actually, no, wait, that was. Oh wait, that's why. Hold on, gentlemen. Let me just load up the non-Bybit BTC USD chart. Let's see
Oh yeah,
if
yeah,
we
yeah.
can find, because
Doesn't have
I
enough
was
data.
wondering why it doesn't have enough data. Let's go to Coinbase.
2019 looked good.
Yeah, it did. Okay, here we go. So if we zoom back in time to say the 17 run up, okay, here's 2017 here. You can see how indeed at some point we just and again this kind of plays into the whole stock to flow model and the halving concept that at some point we just break out and we never go back to previous lows. So you can see how, like, we dipped one final time here to about just under 2000,
Mm-hmm.
and then we broke out. We hit 4700 in about September 2017, and then we had a fat correction. Let me see here, from the top to the
Which,
bottom, which is 40%, okay, which took us to about 2800, and then after that, we never really went below that again. So I'm thinking, potentially, not to say that it's not possible and that this whole halving, 2020 halving hasn't played itself out yet, but I'm having a sneaking suspicion that there's going to be a point where we leave 10,000 behind and we never look back. There's going to be a
yeah,
point where we hit
I agree.
100K and five.
But here's the thing, and I do believe it, like even that pattern right there. Look how big of a correction you just saw from 2017 down. Like I believe that once we do get onto this course, we'll start hitting. I believe like 64K will probably be the first stop before we start getting rejections down to 50% of 30K. Like it's all going to move in proportion, I do believe. But in the meantime, I do think that it will be a slow build up there, but it also could just go. I mean, look at the past. It doesn't mean it's going to repeat itself, but we're in the beginnings of something here
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
we cannot deny the fact that, again, having 2020, and I think certain analysis has shown how previous halvings, Bitcoin price did bottom, say 3 to 6 months after the halving, and then continued up and never returned from there. And if you think about it, it's been about almost 4 months since the halving, and so maybe we're due for our breakout here. And then Lord knows, we saw an absolutely insane amount of consolidation, accumulation here in the 9K range. Like, we can see how many times the price tapped
That's
the low
that's a fair
9K.
market value price for Bitcoin.
Indeed, and then we've been waiting, and I feel a lot of people, um, they didn't want to buy the 10K Bitcoin, and everybody was waiting for maybe another dip down to 6 or 7, um, and it never came. And then go figure, as soon as we
Mhm.
break out above 10, everybody FOMO bought because they figured, oh man, I waited too long, I didn't get my chance. And again, if you look at the halving clock, we were about 3 months away or after the last halving, and if we haven't dipped super hard yet, maybe we won't. Maybe this is it. This is again, if the current production of Bitcoin is around 14K, I think it's inevitable that we start drifting toward that 14K valuation. But I
One of the
guess
reasons why I really like when we look at Justin has that set up much nicer than I do. But the power law corridor that we always come back and visit, and I mean that
hmm
thing has done damn well. My apologies. You can show my chart real quick. My apologies
Yep, on
for
and down.
all the back testing lines. But if you look at it, I mean, man, we do look primed. And I
hmm
mean, if we're going to come
hmm
up to the top of that corridor again, I mean, we're looking at $100,000 easy. And I mean, we got to break about 15 to really get on the other side of that. But there's no reason that we can't break out the same way that we have done in the past. But I do think that that would warrant a pullback from around like the 15 to 16,000 range. So
For sure. In
who
fact,
knows?
one thing I read today, I think Max Kaiser was not that he's the man to listen to on Bitcoin. He's very hyperbolic, I think, in his price predictions. But I did read something from Max Kaiser today where he's saying this is it. We are going to break out. We're going to hit. I think he said 26K was his call.
Who tips?
Before we correct down, I think back into the teens, right? So Max Kaiser's
Okay.
very bullish. He's saying get your BTC in now. We're heading for 26K. And of course, we will see just like we did in 2017-18, we'll see a massive probably correction back down, maybe in the order of
Mhm.
40, 50%. But even still, if that puts us into the
I
14,
don't think that
15K range, that's nothing wrong with
I
that.
don't think that should shake people out. I think this is the most important time that you could ever utilize risk management properly because some of these movements are going to be crazy. Just remember that holding spot without having any leverage position still gets you a win. I mean, you don't have to be into a monster leverage position because this thing is going to whipsaw all over the place and just blow out accounts like no other. I mean, look at the liquidations back in 2017. I think this is going to just mimic that, but to 100x. I mean, I think we're going to see so much more money getting liquidated. But if you were looking at this from the weekly chart, we are getting a continuation from Minx uh, on the weekly, which is always great to see
Very much
because
so.
I love Minx, man. It's not 100% right, but it's
It's damn
guarantee
good.
it's better than you guessing.
Mm-hmm. B-Flow says, please, let's have another March meltdown. And you know what? A lot of people were waiting for that. A lot of people were waiting for the next
Mhm.
big buy opportunity, for the next big shoe to drop in the markets. And I think we were seeing that maybe in traditional markets, maybe just brewing its head. But I don't know if Bitcoin is going to have that again, but anything's possible. And even if
It
we
is.
do, we'll likely V bottom off of that, just like we did in March, gentlemen. So I mean, I'm with you guys. If we have another meltdown, I will be happily back in the truck up and loading my bags.
And
Um,
I and I don't think that'll happen within a second. So I think it's important to make sure that you're following your daily system, and at the time that it tells you to take a position in the opposite direction, that's the time. Don't try to front run it. Don't try to get in early or anything like that. Like it's going to end up wrecking you, I promise. So just follow your systems day to day, and then we'll all get rich together.
Indeed. Let's see. You're gonna read a couple more comments before we wrap it up. Somebody was asking about One Gold. Has anyone used One Gold? T-Dub is asking. It's a metals platform. It's kind of like Coinbase. It's partnered with APMX, MEX, the I guess the precious metals exchange. You can cash out the physical metals. You can buy $1 to
Oh,
$5,000 and pay any way possible. I guess that means you can pay with crypto as well. That's pretty damn cool. I wonder how many of the platform users are going to choose to cash out into physical. I mean, a little bit of the side, but I've been hearing tons of anecdotes lately about coin distributors, coin dealers sold out everywhere. I don't know if you guys have heard something similar, but supposedly silver and gold coins are completely sold out
oh yeah.
everywhere. Maybe not
And I
everywhere,
mean,
everywhere, but I've heard a lot of people in the U.S. talk about that.
and gold is still on a tear, so
Yeah, gold is on a monster tear. I'm gonna quickly pull up the gold chart on my screen here. Yeah,
I
gold.
think silver had quite a correction overnight, but I only got a chance to glance at the
It
chart.
did. Look at the doji on silver. It touched 26-ish and corrected all the way down to 22, and now it's kind of right in the middle here.
Yeah,
Currently trading at 24.2. Very impressive. Gold, of course, at all-time highs if we look at it. This is insane. And this actually will bring me to one quick story here I was watching today. And that will be, let me see if I can find it.
yeah, but I do like that.
Um,
That's a big doji, but that's a lot of buying. That's a lot of absorption.
yeah, let me see if I can find the Goldman Sachs story. Um, Here we go. Goldman Sachs boost gold price target, says the US dollar's reserve status is at risk. Honestly, this to me is like canary in a coal mine.
Hmm.
The dollar's hegemony is it's holy, okay? And rarely do you
Sacrilege.
see, nobody ever generally you don't see institutions and stuff questioning the supremacy of the American dollar. But here we go. We got news coming out
Well, I mean, just
today.
look at the forex markets, man. I mean, the U.S. dollar's taking a
It
pounding
is
almost everywhere.
indeed, and here we are. Goldman Sachs today says it's raising its price target for gold while sounding the alarm about risks to the U.S. dollar. And in a note that went out to clients today, the bank reaffirmed its position on gold being the currency of last resort, and how uncertain economic conditions are raising its price target for gold to 2,300 per ounce. So Goldman Sachs very bullish on gold
What?
breaking out even higher. Of course, this is after a surge to record levels, and the bank tied the metal's rally to a potential, this is quote, potential shift in the U.S. Fed towards an inflationary bias against a backdrop of rising geopolitical tensions, i.e. China, elevated U.S. domestic policy, political and social uncertainty, and a second wave of COVID-related infections. So combined
Mhm.
with a record level of debt accumulation by the U.S. government, real concerns around the longevity of the US dollar as a reserve currency have started to emerge. See, I don't think I remember anybody in the mainstream or any of these big banks ever questioning
Well,
the longevity
I
of the US
never
dollar.
thought that I would hear in so many words that a bank says, "Hey, it might be a better idea to have hard money instead of fiat." Like,
Indeed. I mean, and that to
like
me
they're
is
in so many words saying that, "Hey, this is if you want to keep your money," because they're doing it. Like the reason why they can make that kind of prediction is they're going to be moving a lot of their money to hard assets.
well, this could definitely confirm, my earlier hypothesis that this whole market rebound, this whole V bottom that we've experienced since March,
It,
has just been a way for insiders to get out. And now that they're
I
getting out,
yeah,
we're starting to see the train finally come off the tracks right now.
when I know me and you have discussed this as well, so we're like, okay, this V bottom, this could just be a monster dead cat bounce, like just for
Yep.
people to get out.
It certainly
So I
seems
mean,
that way. And now when Goldman Sachs is basically telling its clients, wink, wink, gold is going to be the currency of last resort, where we're having some doubts about the U.S. dollar.
besides Bitcoin.
This really doesn't bode well. Yeah, Bitcoin I think certainly will have its.
Well, that's the thing because I mean, if you look at the history of markets, it's about a 50-year run on fiat, and they always go back to hard money, hard assets, silver and gold. This has been the first time in history that we've ever had something as an alternative. And yes, of course, it's still in the very early adopters phase, but you still got to think about these things moving forward. The way I think about it is, okay, in 50 years, I think we'll be spacefaring people. And I don't think that, well, with the added of gold mining and asteroid mining, which I do think will bring down the value of those assets, you're still going to need something that can be interplanetary to be able to ship instantly that's trusted. Like you can't do a transaction from Earth to Mars with gold and get your spaceships up there to bring it back. You need something that's safe and sound that has a protocol that you can trust. And I think that's Bitcoin.
Yeah, even interplanetary, we need a transparent and
Yes.
honest ledger, and we
And it
can't
has to be
necessarily.
fast.
Yeah, well,
You
Bitcoin.
you can't be transporting gold interplanetary, at least not yet.
Yeah, well, that's going to be tricky. I'm not sure how 10-minute block timing is going to work with.
Oh, it'll get better.
Yeah, I guess we have to perfect that laser communication between planets, but I guess that's a conversation for another day.
Hypothetical. It's
Um,
fun. It's fun to
for
think
sure.
about. Gives me a lot of hope in the crypto space for sure.
Yeah, it's very exciting without a doubt. And you know what? Like, if we do see a flight to hard assets in the next while, I mean, Bitcoin will
What do you
certainly
mean?
benefit. Crypto will
What do
certainly
you mean
benefit.
if we do see? Look what's happening, man. Gold hit all-time highs.
Yeah, no kidding. And it could even. Oh, I guess what I'm referring to is if it gets a whole lot worse in the
Yep.
meantime.
And gets everyone all excited about where it's going, and then all of these large conglomerations just dump all of their money on top of the middle class.
And Bitcoin still has a relatively small market cap, right? So I
Mhm.
mean, the whole world is not going to suddenly dump their money into Bitcoin, but as gold maybe is going to have challenges meeting physical delivery and all that.
Mhm.
People will, I think, naturally
And
look toward.
just an auditing system. I mean, look what we just found out with China had like what billions of dollars in fake bullion. Like we can't do a proper audit of the gold.
Yeah, that's my main argument for why I kind of prefer Bitcoin. Like, yeah,
Yep.
we have a general idea of how scarce gold is and how much is mined, but
We know everything about
we just
Bitcoin.
we just don't know where it is, where it's stashed, how much is really there. Can you know, like the big problem is that we have, these markets papering over these precious metal markets, and so I don't like the lack of transparency as to who owns what and where it's stored and so on and so
Hmm.
forth, right? And even if they do audit, they can probably play all sorts of funny games. I've heard all sorts of crazy conspiracy theories about the stash at Fort Knox and the wax seals around the vaults, but I guess that's another story. Listen, Keith Frazine asks XRP. He says XRP will rule them all, but maybe you can pull up the XRP chart.
Yeah. Let's do some XRP shilling. Okay.
I hear Trump is taking back the central banking system, and he's going to put XRP as the main liquidity tool.
Oh, causing ripples.
I think QAnon told me that.
XRP. And to be honest with you, I am in an XRP position myself right now. I've never been a big fan of XRP because, to be honest with you, if you look at how it is to trade, it's really wishy-washy. You get like a bunch, 100 steps down, and then like a few steps up. But in the way I took this trade myself was I just wanted to grab myself a little bit of a bag. We're looking at weekly charts because I do believe we are just about to break out of a very long time resistance trend line, which I think will give us room to come up to about 23, 24 cents, at least to this resistance. But in moments like this, if historicity has anything to do with chart patterning, um, this could also just see a monster breakout to, I would say, even upwards of 40 cents. But that's why I'm currently in this position because the weekly gave me a nice long. I got a confirmation on parallax. Volatility is not there in the sense of WADA on the weekly, but this system is designed for a daily on the WADA setting. So it can be a very laggard indicator in the sense of a rising explosion level on the weekly. But I mean, the same as we were talking about with EOS, USDT, ADA, BCH. I think all these USDT pairs are going to get quite a bit of love while Bitcoin consolidates at around 11K, I believe.
Maybe there's hope even for the XRP boys.
Even for the XR, because this looks solid to me, especially with this retracement back, boom, comes back up. Because this is the movement that ADA's in right now, is that retracement and then back up. That's why I said discretionarily, I do like ADA right now, but my system hasn't given it. But as you go through time building your systems and stuff like that, and you become to trust them, you also do get very much better at discretionary trading because you can look at what you've referenced in the past and having that system to where you can go back and look. Because every single trade I take, I take a screenshot with it, a little explanation of why I did it, and then at the end of the month, I go back through and look at my losers, see if there's any kind of correlation to getting a signal but having a certain chart pattern or anything like that. And I've come to find that it makes you a lot better discretionary trader, and ADA looks good to me right now, as well as XRP. And one of the reasons why I am in XRP, I was in XRP from, let me check. Because I got into EOS at 4.494, which is doing very well right now. These are longer term holds, not really swing trades though, because I do treat my investments much different than my trading capital. But got into XRP at 1908. So liking that movement so far. Uh, to be honest with you, like I hate being one of those super bullish guys because I feel like that sentiment usually gets punished, especially from looking at YouTube people and analysis online, usually those perma bulls get smacked in the face, but this is starting to look very bullish to me. Exciting times in the market. This is why we wait all those months of sideways.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's see here. I see that according to June 12, 1776, he says, I've been watching the markets for 25 years and Goldman is worthless. And they are co-creators and first users of the unalienable monetary property of the people. That's right, Jack. Cooked books. Indeed, June.
Cook those bugs.
A lot of these books are cooked, and I think what we really do need is publicly distributed, transparent ledgers.
Absolutely. It's the one thing that would take away the power of the money printer.
Keith Franzine, he seems to be one of the believers in the XRP Trump IMF conspiracy theories. Trump said XRP, well, I guess Trump did name drop XRP at some point. Supposedly IMF will put XRP in the SDR to transmit value into every currency in the world. XRP will rule them all. Potentially, but if that was the case, I'm not sure if the XRP insiders would be dumping all those XRP coins. Now, there's something to be said. It's possible that the technology itself, the railways of XRP, could potentially be used in that regard. It could be you could see XRP used as the money transmission protocol of some future currencies, or maybe the system that replaces SWIFT. But that doesn't mean the underlying XRP tokens themselves will be used. And of course, even if they were, well, the XRP treasury can just be like, all right, U.S. government, how many XRP do you need? 6 trillion. All right, here you go. Boom. Print it. Yeah, whatever they want, they can dial it up and deliver the coins that you need as a government, potentially, right? So I'm not particularly buying the whole Trump is going to be our savior along with XRP, but hey, who knows? Maybe one day. Indeed, Keith, maybe one day that is the hope. And you know what? If XRP does have a bullish a sales pitch behind it, it's that like, and this is what really drove XRP popularity, I feel, during the last major run up when we saw it when it hit $3, is because all of the normies and the average people coming to the space were like passing on Bitcoin. They felt it already exploded, and the XRP news pitch is or sales pitch is one of this is the banker's coin. This is the system that the mainstream finance is going to adopt, and I think that promise will probably still pump XRP bags in the future. So when we get the next great big wave of adoption or interest come into the space, that same story is going to probably attract people and tell them, listen, XRP's its top was at $3 before. It's a steal at 30 cents. Why not buy it? Bitcoin's already too expensive. It's already 10K or 20K a coin, and people, I think, like the idea of buying, coins under $1. So even if they don't understand token economics, but again, it has to do with new money, new blood coming into the space, and them being mesmerized by stories like that. I know a lot of normies who went big into XRP because they bought into those tales.
Yep. I know quite a few people that got completely destroyed by XRP.
Anything that says that this is what the bankers, the big elites, and the central bankers are going to give their blessing to usually kind of gets people's interest.
Kind of like setting up a shop in little local Chinese villages and shilling ADA.
Yeah, no kidding. All right.
Someone did bring up LTC here. I wanted to go over that real quick. I don't know how I missed this one with my system, to be honest with you, but I did because it would have gave me a signal 2 days ago. If you want to bring up my chart there, Jack.
Yep, you're up.
But looking at LTC here, it looks too overextended for what I would want right now. But looking at this is my signal right here, which would have blown you through all 3 take profits, most likely, and been in trailing stop mode. But LTC, like the rest of them, I believe is going to be, because I remember Justin talking about it yesterday. He was looking at the 4-hour chart, and I do believe, or was it LTC that? Yeah, I do believe it was, but it was just in the middle of getting some pullback down to here to where it didn't look very healthy. And you, again, there's no way to really predict that reversal. And now all of a sudden you got just 3 white soldiers going up the side. But again, like I said, with the rest of them, I think right now the thing to be looking at is the USDT pairs, and LTC seems to be running. You very well could hit 60 on LTC, no problem.
Yeah, I took a look at crypto bubbles today, and it was green across the board.
Oh yeah, we're having a good day.
Yeah, let's take a look. YFI seems to be at the top again. I still don't think I fully understand YFI. Ample seems to be correcting. Ample fourth down to 166. LRC is up 13%. I think you and Justin were telling me to get into LRC yesterday. Easy money.
I actually did get into LRC yesterday. One of the only Bitcoin pairings I took. LRC, I hit take profit 1, but then did get stopped out. I see that it continued on, but that's just one of the things that happens, man, which sucks. But yeah, I managed to pull 5% out of LRC overnight last night. We were discussing that one on putting up that trade, but we felt it was better suited to look at the USDT pairs, because you guys all know how Bitcoin pairings can just get trashed when Bitcoin decides to make a move.
Big time. All right, let me put you guys onto something that Alex put me onto yesterday. Chartex.pro. Very convenient charting, because as you guys may be familiar, there's coins that are only available on the dexes, like Uniswap, for instance. Budding, up and coming, no name. DeFi tokens, for instance, are only available on Uniswap, and that stuff isn't easily charted or isn't chartable at all on TradingView, but we can see using this chartex.pro some of these coins are. So there's one token that I recently got into, well, maybe not too recently, a while ago, I suppose. Let's turn this to the 1 day. Power on Uniswap. Oh, Coin Paprika. No, I want power on Uniswap. Here we go. All right. I don't think this is it either. It's going to be the second entry. Here we go. And where's the reset chart? There we go. Yeah, so this is a coin. This is a token with only like a 1 million 1 million circulating supply cap. Another DeFi play, pretty sweet, and it kind of recently really took off in the last few days. I was able to pick it up close to the bottom here. I didn't buy a very big bag. So I bought it here around 20 cents, and we can see that it's been kind of rip-roaring the last few days. So I'm not saying anybody get into power in particular. I'm just watching it, and until recently I wasn't even able to chart it. But thank you to Alex for pointing out Chart EX to me, because now I'm able to watch my my bag of power pump on Uniswap. There was a giant buy today. It took us all the way to 83 cents. This coin is now up, wow, 360% since I bought it. So, yeah, some of these DeFi tokens that go bonkers, like that YFI coin.
Apparently, you're explaining exactly what Peckham was talking about. He's saying, and this chart shows exactly what he's talking about in the sense of the DeFi.
But yeah, potentially. But I think a lot of this still remains to be seen, guys. DeFi is not guaranteed of any, but I probably have to talk one-on-one on Peckman, so he can kind of lay out exactly what he's talking about. But I was reading, Vitalik just appeared on the Uncharted podcast, and he was talking about He expects to see a lot of Bitcoin get wrapped and moved to Ethereum. In fact, he thinks the future for Bitcoin is going to be kind of like a source of liquidity or collateral on
Hmm.
on Ethereum, and he also told people to maybe slow down with the whole DeFi bonanza, right? Kind of warning everyone that, listen, guys, these smart contracts are not ironclad. There's still going to be bugs, and we've seen a lot of that. So even the man Vitalik is warning people, don't get too carried away. He was telling, I think his exact words, more or less, were, normies, don't get carried away. Do not put your life savings into DeFi projects. These things are
Hmm.
hella experimental. It's very promising, but be very, very careful. And that's how I feel, guys. This DeFi stuff some of these projects can probably blow up in your face, and as more money goes into them, the more incentive there will be to exploit and attack them. So very careful,
I
guys.
feel like it could end up being the same type of run that you saw on alt season the first time Bitcoin really took off, and look how many lost almost 100% of their value in that. I mean, now people are this is just the same thing, just with a different name. Now it's the DeFi craze. Now everyone's gonna get in and jump on board, and like it can never go to zero, And that's just one of the things that I think that's done just to get, if excuse me for saying it, but dumb money to come in and pump these things, and then for people just to sell it on top of them.
I think the beauty of it is that these are like decentralized exchanges, right? So like stuff like Uniswap makes it super easy to connect with a MetaMask wallet and can swap with no KYC. And I really do think that's
Yeah.
the future because they're throwing up so many roadblocks um, in terms of centralized exchanges. All the KYC, all the 5 AMLD, all the anti-money laundering stuff is making it more and more difficult for normies, I think, to enter the space and engage with even buy a bag and engage in some of these exchanges. So these something like Ethereum and the fact they can do smart contracts and support these decentralized exchanges means that they'll be able to bypass the regulators for the foreseeable future, and maybe that's what
Yeah.
will make it popular. Is just just one-click access to DeFi dexes is just really powerful.
Yeah, and I mean, I really am of the idea that I think people should take their own banking into their own hands, controlling their own money, stuff like that. It's one of the reasons why I feel like school systems, especially in America, have failed their students, in the sense of they don't teach them the things that are actually important in life, like taxes, how to spend money, how to balance a budget, how to actually take care of yourself in the sense of your monetary value. And I think this will give some of those people a chance. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people left in the dust, but if we do see a paradigm shift in the way these things go, especially with big banks um, having to fight their way to, I think Bitcoin's a big threat to that. And a lot of these cryptos are. And I mean, you see things like Roblox and these people learning how to trade and stuff without even realizing that they're learning how to trade. So I think we will see a big shift, and I think what you're saying, Uniswap, things like that, those will be a big catalyst for people taking control of their own money.
Indeed, I think another one will be when video games really
Yeah, that's
embrace crypto. I
that's
think
what I was
that'll be a
saying. Like
huge one. With
with
Roblox is one,
Roblox,
indeed,
they
but
are teaching
yep.
people how to trade without knowing it.
And I think when we see that really embraced in some of the more popular games where the in-game stuff that you're earning,
Fortnite and stuff like that.
all the unlocks and stuff, all the skins and all the stuff that you grind out. Once I think they can really integrate that into decentralized assets that the user owns and then marketplaces form around that, I think will be
Hmm.
very, very, very cool. I think that'll certainly be the future. I mean, if you're looking at a Ready Player One future where we live our lives out in VR land, you're absolutely going to need these decentralized solutions and NFTs to
Hmm.
really allocate resources, right? Because even popular branded stuff in the VR world is going to need to have some kind of scarcity mechanic be able to apply to it. Not everybody should be able to, I guess, copy and paste all the Lambos they want in VR land. So there's just gonna have to be ways
Yeah,
to,
you got to earn it,
yeah, you got to be ways to kind of,
like anything else.
yep, to kind of control it, right? And so we're gonna see future consumer goods issued as NFTs on the blockchain. But that's going to be a long time to come. I'm not sure if we're
Yeah.
jacking into the matrix anytime soon, so we'll wait and see for that. These are all still very abstract and cool applications for blockchain. Okay, we're going to start wrapping it up, but before we do, maybe we'll pull up another chart. T-Dub is asking about Neo USDT. I think the syndicate, the crypto.com syndicate is finishing off its deal, its sale on Neo USDT. So let's see
So
what. Yeah, he wanted to see
look at
Neo
Neo?
USDT. Yeah. Are you familiar with the syndicate and crypto.com, Jason?
Me myself, actually, am not. I just wait for you to explain things like that to me.
Yeah, I'm not a super expert on it, but something about like part of holding the CRO token and being like a staker, you get there's allocations, so they sell stuff at discounts. So I don't know if you heard about like the half price Bitcoin that they were selling,
Ooh,
exclusive.
that just sounds like a scam.
It's not. It's like they allocate a bunch. I think they buy a huge bag of Bitcoin and then they let people buy it at half prices. Like it's kind of a promotional thing, right? It's only available exclusively to people who like stake CRO. I think
Gotcha.
it's those stakers. I think are called the syndicate, right? That's what they refer to themselves at. And I think currently they have a promotion going for Neo USDT that's currently running out. But let's hear what you got
I'm
to
gonna be
say.
honest with you on Neo. I like Neo here just in the sense that let me see if I can bring Quadrigo up. There you go. The sense that I got a signal right here on this candle, and I would have been wicked out on it, which does unfortunately happen sometimes, but we're still right within that price range. I think Neo's a good buy here, Neo USDT. With a target of 12.35, I would have no problem. I might even post that to the group.
I
I
think
like I like that absorption and then follow through. This is the same thing we're looking at with ADA.
I'm not sure how much was sold and distributed through the crypto.com ADA syndicate sale, but I think maybe what T-Dub was getting at was all these people who just picked up Neo at half price or whatever the discount was. Maybe
Well, yeah,
preparing
if
to
you could do
dump it,
that.
right? I mean, if you just picked it up for half, maybe it's going to end up on an exchange shortly to be dumped on. But again, depends how big an allocation they really got. Maybe it wasn't that much, enough to really
And
move the market, but
and this is one of the
interesting.
reasons why taking profit is so important. I mean, yes, that could absolutely happen, but that doesn't mean we don't see $14 Neo before that dump comes, you know? Like based off my trading system, this would have given me a signal that would have wicked me out there, but I would feel comfortable after that buyback, at least going in half risk because you're not that far from the original entry, anyways. And I guess what I would do, just in case, to follow along suit with my strategy, because I don't like to take profits to current price. What I would do is come and put historical price data on, and then I would take it from my signal itself. So that would put my first take profits at about 12.059, which it could have wicked up to there already. Let's see. Nope, 12.05. So it hasn't quite gotten there. So yeah, I would put a take profit at about 12.059, but I can just come over here into Quadrigo and it would give me all of those. Actually 11.95, 12.559, and 13.12. So I wouldn't have a problem taking a Neo USDT position either.
Ah, Neo. That takes me back to 2017. I don't know if anybody remembers. Neo used to be known as Ant shares. I bought that when I think it was below $3 or even lower back in the day, and then I held it all the way up to its like 115 or $150 pump, and I held it almost all the way back down. So
Hey
I
guys,
guess
thank
it's
you for jumping
bittersweet.
on the call.
Hey, Alex showed up. What up, Alex?
Yes.
What's going on, man?
Not too much. I did something very similar with Nano, which was Ryblox at the time.
Oh yeah.
I bought some Nano cheap because it was like a flash. Like, Nano was like worthless and then it was like super expensive and then it was like worthless again in like rapid succession.
So XRP?
No, XRP took a long time to become worthless again. This was a long, slow bleed out.
Yeah, lucky. I got out at Neo at some point, not at the bottom. Let's put it that way. Got out when it's still worth something, but I guess I don't feel bad because when I look at the chart, it still hasn't really recovered much of that anyway.
I know. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all good. I was just going to read. GPU Professor Wally says the syndicate, U.S. citizens cannot participate in the syndicate sales, but he does say he has the Jade Green MCO card, which requires 500 MCO. Very, very cool, dude. I got some MCO of my own recently, and I'm waiting for my card one day soon as well. Let's see here. I'm just going to quickly read the comments. You guys feel free to throw your 2 cents in. ADA is the future. Engine is tight. Yeah, Engine kind of. I think he's mentioning Engine because we were just talking about the future Ready Player One universe that we're going to jack into thanks to Elon Musk. Alex needs to pound the desk and talk about James at the water cooler. He'd do a great impression. Isn't
that Kirby?
I think that's is that an Office Space? An Office Office Space reference? I have never watched that show, but I think that's what it is.
Pretty sure Crypto Kirby talks about James at the water cooler.
Peckman is waiting for his obsidian delivery. Whoa, which color is obsidian? Is that the purple one? No. That's the black one.
That's black.
Yeah.
No,
Obsidian
black. I think
glass.
he's playing with us. There's no way this man has 500,000 MCO, Mr. Peckman. If you have the
like 6 million.
Or Peckham, if you got your 500,000 MCO, buddy, yo, why don't you forward me a few more tokens, bro. I need to upgrade to the next color up. I'll pay you back. I promise. I just need
you're not tipping often enough.
You're not tipping often enough. You should be out here talking.
T-Dub says he makes about 15 MCO in cash back every month. You know what, T-Dub, that's exactly why I bought it, because I use my Visa credit card for everything, all my regular payments. Now, I don't really carry a balance with it, but you know, all my shopping, all my payments do go through the convenience of my Visa card. And I've been thinking, like, you know, there's so much cash flow going through this every month. Why aren't I earning cashback reward? So I just can't.
It's a great time for these things coming out, because they're going to offer way better incentives at the beginning of them than when we move 10 years from now. You're probably not going to be able to get nearly that, you know? So why not? You're already spending the money, get your rewards back.
They're saying look at the MCO USDT chart on, I'm guessing, Binance. I know what they're referring to. They're saying, holy crap, wait till you look at this chart. Yes, I think Binance MCO USDT had a monster wick. Wick. Look at that. They shot up to almost $7.
Oh, yeah. That's got to be very nice.
Someone fat-fingered that.
Holders. But, I mean, I don't even necessarily hate that for continuation, because technically on my system, I would be getting a full scale long position based off today's close. I mean, of course, that wick tends to scare a lot of people out, but that's one of the reasons why I love systems trading, because it tends to catch those things. So, I mean, MCO looks great right here.
Yeah.
So, shitcoins are making a real comeback here today.
Oh, yeah. And just like we discussed yesterday, Alex, the USDT market is really the one to be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, after the whole Wirecard fiasco from last month, you know, the price tanked, but it basically, you know, I think it landed around like 3.99, you know, basically $4 flat. And you know, after that disaster, it's mostly held at a support. So it's like, if it survived that and $4 was kind of the bottom there, it gives me a lot of confidence. So I'm glad I bought the very local bottom of MCO. I'm gonna hodl that bag like a pro. But you know, there could be a lot of upside from here. I think this token does have a future.
Yeah, I think a lot of the alts are looking really good in the USDT pairings. ADA, MCO. I mean, LTC looks a little overextended, but I absolutely think it could keep going. I don't think that's a good entry point, but I do believe ADA, MCO, NEO.
No, I'm looking at shit coins. I don't know. Those are major alts.
Well, that's what we're talking about. What do you want? Hot?
I don't know. I'm looking at Uniswap tokens right now. Some of these are shaping back up. Like people
Big time.
people have shaken off. I feel like the people that are playing the Uniswap tokens don't know the rule. It's like, oh, you should get out of alts if Bitcoin looks like it's going to pump.
Yeah.
If you don't know that rule, then you're just still shoving money into these shitcoins willy-nilly right now because this is like your first rodeo where Bitcoin's pumping in the middle of something that's kind of like an alt season, although we're not sure if it's full alt season. That's like, Anyway, it's interesting to me.
If you want to share your screen,
Absolutely.
Alex, I can
Yeah.
pop you on a stream. Do you want to give us any TA or any analysis today before we wrap it up?
Boom. Yeah, sure. So I know there's a lot of people out here that have been looking at these Uniswap tokens, and one of the reasons that you have not touched the Uniswap tokens maybe is because you can't chart them. But now we have a
Yep.
couple places where you can chart Uniswap tokens. So on my screen right now is YFI, Ethereum. So YFI is a Chinese DeFi token. As you can see, yesterday it kind of dumped along with the rest of the market. I kind of like this recovery right here. What do you think, Jason?
I love that pattern right there. That looks like absolute continuation. If it doesn't reject there, look for the close. What is that? An hourly chart?
Yes, this is an hourly chart, and it's because this this coin has not existed for very long.
That's a beautiful ascending triangle. Look at the decreasing volume. I mean, all of it. It's perfect.
Doesn't it have like a super small circulating supply? I think only like 30K cap.
There
this
is
coin?
only 30,000 YFI in
Yep.
existence.
Yeah,
Ooh.
between that and the
Pumping
Chinese,
There was
pumping
the
up.
there was
Chinese,
no pre-mine. There was no pre-mine. There was no token sale. It's literally like
That
the
looks
tokens
strong.
are slowly created by the protocol itself.
That
So
is on the precipice of breakout, I bet.
yeah, and according to some, I follow a few Chinese crypto Twitter people, just the ones who speak enough English that like I can understand them. And apparently, YFI they've been like this is like the big thing that everybody's talking about on WeChat. Like this is like the Chinese DeFi coin. So I might grab a couple, or I might grab like less than a couple. Like right now, like one YFI is literally worth 10 Ethereum. So I am probably not going to buy one YFI, but I might put a little Ethereum into this and just see where it goes over the next. I might buy it at this level for a long term hold because the Chinese are going to go crazy about it.
Mhm.
So
I
yeah.
don't think that's a bad play.
yeah, nothing says pumpamentals like WeChat popularity and 30,000 circulating supply.
Yeah. So Uniswap.hex.vision is one of the places I am currently going to chart my Uniswap tokens. You can do other ones like
Yeah,
MTA here.
before you showed up, actually, I was showing the boys chartex.pro that you put me onto yesterday.
Exactly, and that is the other one. So I guess you already showed the
I did.
members.
I also learned that this whole hex.vision thing is just a ripoff of chartex, I think.
Oh, well, that's no good.
Hence the hex ad in the top right.
Those.
But hey, they
those
both work equally well if you're just charting it and not using the buy hex.
Okay, but I do like that on ChartX you can see the liquidity here. I don't know if you can see that on the Uniswap Vision. I keep wanting to say Univision, but it's not Univision. No, you're right. This is exactly like a total ripoff.
Big time.
Anyway, so yeah, You want to just like glance quickly over at shitcoins? What did you already cover, Jason? I'm sorry, folks. I'm coming late to this.
Basically, every request, a lot of the larger cap USD coins didn't really get into any of the lower cap. If you want to get into those,
Okay, yeah. Why don't we glance over shitcoins? I'm sure Jason did a bang up job on Bitcoin stuff. I don't need to like cover it again.
we'll see. They'll let me know.
Let's see. So these were all the ones that I had wanted to pick up. Let's see how these were doing. Let's see if they reached my levels. This is surprising to me. I did not expect this to recover so quickly.
It is much faster paced than I thought too.
Yeah.
I thought we'd have at least like a week,
Yeah. I'll go with showing a nice little bounce off of this is resistance turn support, it looks like, and a retest of local point of control. I would be willing to take this on a What do you think, Jason? Would you want to take this on just like a Fisher cross, or you would need some sort
Um,
of momentum
well,
indicator
can
to
you
go
go
with
back
this?
to the one day? Okay, you're on a Fisher Crush on the daily. So
Yeah.
I would want to see it close above that order block up there.
With this above right
Yeah.
here. So like maybe back above 3,000, then we take it long.
Yeah, I mean, just for my sake on looking at it, but I mean, I think you could still get another wick down to that lower spot, but
Here, yeah,
in the sense of Bitcoin pairings, I mean, that looks a lot better to me, and I'd want to see it close above that red line that you have there,
yeah,
and then I would think about taking it in the other direction.
yeah.
But I do believe that Bitcoin pairings are going to be a little tricky right now, to be honest with
They
you.
are going to be tricky, but I don't think we should completely abandon them. I mean, as you can see, I mean, you can
Absolutely.
look over
I'm
here. There was quite a day to like if yesterday you looked at the chart and be like, "Oh my god, alts are down. I'm going to buy more alts." Then today you're feeling pretty
Mhm.
smarmy and good about yourself probably.
And I mean, we looked at the LRC chart yesterday, and I ended up taking that trade, LRC BTC, and it hit take profit one. Did stop out, but it's also continuing right now.
Mhm. This looks like just a retest of this consolidation area. This might be a good time to pick up IOTEX.
I can
RLC.
see it.
So this is the area that I thought we should be buying in this area. We're still in the buy area on RLC. This is kind of
Mhm.
like the retest of the previous high. Yeah, I think this is a good area to pick up RLC again. Probably take it back up here, I would imagine. So this is a good 50% move.
Yeah, that's one thing that it's kind of baffling when we see all this movement and all this money coming into the market and all these crazy like 20% movements, all this stuff. But go look at the weekly chart, man. There's so much more room for a lot of these things.
This is true.
Like,
Um,
wow. Like if that's any hint at what's to come, like we're in for another bull run that's gonna make 2017 look like a little girl.
yeah. Look at the weekly chart. I would love to see us return to this area right here and then continue, but I don't know if that'll even happen. We'll see. Go back CTSI. This is one of the ones I liked. This is a nice
I
retest, I think, of resistance turn support
I like
test.
that. I like that chart.
Hmm. Raven. So Raven's interesting here.
Woo! I think
I
I might just pick up some Raven right there anyways.
well, you're saying that, but let's zoom
I
out.
know it can get
This is
lower.
Raven's all-time low that you would
Mhm.
be buying right now if you bought it. So this right here
I wanna
is
take a shot.
Raven's all-time low. Maybe not on the USD pairing, maybe there's another low, but as far as its value versus Bitcoin, this is not a great time. I think didn't Raven get 51% attacked like last month?
I am not sure.
It
I'm
did, yep.
sure Jack would know that, yeah.
Yeah, so that might be why we have not seen as much appreciation on Raven as we have on some of the other shitcoins. I mean, there's plenty of scammy shitcoins out there that we have seen pump drastically,
I
so
think
why
it
not Raven?
resulted in a bit of an inflation bug. So I think they minted millions more Raven, and unfortunately they were powerless to stop it. They can't burn it. They
Yeah.
can't do nothing. So we have to basically the Raven community has to live with slightly increased supply.
Yeah. But hey, if you are a bottom picker, then man, what a place to
Yeah.
buy. Like what if this is like a spring and then it recovers back over and then I mean, after this trading range, this trading range up here is like 100% and
Yeah, 100% for sure. Well, that could be playing out.
oh, it could be playing out. So had it played out exactly, then it would be up here instead of down here right now. So
Well, what is that the day? Is that just today that big sell-off, or is that already closed?
no, that
Oh,
closed
it's
yesterday.
already
Yeah.
closed. Yeah, that's broken.
But this is still the area that I think we should be buying in to take it to this area. So I think might be a good idea to buy some S&T right here. What do you think? Like this
Yeah,
spot?
I like the historical shelf. If you look back over history there, I think that's a perfect consolidation point.
Yeah, and then just take it from here back up to this consolidation area right up
Yep.
here. This is like a nice little 50% move.
Easy swing.
I feel like I just missed the boat on OAX here. I did want to buy in this area. This is a nice little consolidation area right here. It's too late. It's gone.
Yeah.
LRC. So this is the area where I would like. You already hit take profit one. You said.
Yeah, I hit it overnight, and then I did get stopped out, and it seems to be continuing on.
Yeah.
I got an
I
entry at 950 sats, and then sold at 1,057.
Okay, so people can see what the plan is that I have drawn out here. I LRC is one of the quote unquote DeFi tokens. So obviously we want to find some way to get into these tokens, some sort of entry.
Yeah,
I love the reaccumulation down here. You can see,
tap tap.
boom, this was we tap bam right off of that, and then it's like kind of slowly lowering back into this order block consolidation order block. And then I think we can retake it back up to the top right here, or at least here, at least
Yeah,
1600 right here.
and that's one of those things. Like, I hate to get stopped out at break even, but I never get back into something right after I had a successful trade. So I'm just kind of gonna watch it now, and I'm sure
Yeah.
um, we'll.
Well, this is definitely one of those ones. Like if you're wanting to get into DeFi tokens,
Yeah, for
don't
sure.
if you can use margin, don't use margin. Like these things are, you don't want to get kicked out. You don't want to have to worry about a liquidation price. God forbid. And you don't want to have to worry about yeah. So
Yeah.
small position sizes, and then really loose stops, and that'll keep you in these trades.
Mhm. That could be on its way.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, as you can see, I probably should have been like, oh yeah, we're gonna retrace this area, but does this look like a ooh.
Manetha.
So yeah, as you can see, we're kind of reaccumulating back in this area. Lots of buying going on right here, and I think we'll see maybe just a little bit more sideways, and then a continuation onwards here to this consolidation area right up here, kind of like that. Fib is something we were looking at here. You and I were looking at this for this breakout, but we did not get a continuation. We got a throwback here to the point of control.
Yep.
So I
Could be a
think this,
good time to pick it up.
yeah, could be a good time to pick it up again. Nice little consolidation area. Consolidate.
Everyone always thinks that a sell-off like that's a bad thing, but I mean, just go look up the definition of throwback.
Yeah, it's just I think of it as reaccumulating. Like you're a big institutional trader. You've got your bags mostly full, but you just no one else is selling right now. So what do? You pump price a little bit, people jump into it, and
FOMO
then you
around.
kick price back, and then those people all sell into your waiting limit orders, and finally your bags are finally full. This is bag filling
Yeah,
right here. That's
like
what
with
this
that
is.
point of control.
Look at all this volume that's been accumulated right at this price area. So yeah, that's how I encourage you guys to kind of imagine it in your mind. QLC, like this spot right here for a little bounce.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think we might tap in here a couple more times. But QLC, it's already broken above resistance, as you can see, guys.
yeah.
I'm just
That's
playing it for a continuation. We're already above the resistance here. So break above resistance,
that's resistance becoming
retest
support for
of
sure.
resistance, turn support.
Yeah.
You buy here, you take it on the next area. What's the next area? Um,
The
let's see right
moon.
here. Like right up here. We're probably going to expand up into the 800s. So damn, that's actually huge.
That's
Actually,
like
let's
2.5x, like 200 at
let's zoom in.
250x.
Like probably here to 450 first.
Yep, and then a retest down of that wick that we just saw. I think you would
Hmm.
see a wick back down there to
Yeah.
accumulate, and then you'd see a run back up.
Yeah, I actually really love QLC in this spot, don't you?
Yeah, especially after that double bottom you see on lower time frames.
Tap tap.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
and just slowly breaking above this resistance, support turn resistance.
yeah,
Mm.
and you got is that MFI down there at the bottom? What
No,
is that?
this is TSI. This is
Okay,
two
it's
strength indicator.
about to cross over as well. So,
Yeah. As you guys know, I kind of like it as a trending indicator.
mhm.
Kind of keeps it in QKC. Oh, what is this? Is this in one of my areas? It is. Let's zoom out.
Yeah, that's a good price too, I
This
believe.
is also, I believe, a retest of resistance, turn support. Nice
I think
little
I think
retest this
that's
area.
just another example of throwback.
Yeah. And then I would want to actually take this to this area up here. This looks like a really strong consolidation area. So, gosh, that's actually a huge jump if it made that jump.
It's at 68 or 86 sats right now, so that's over 2x, 200x, 316.
It's kind of juicy, I think. If it plays
Kinda.
out that way, I don't. Yes, Bitcoin is pumping right now, but it's always and there is big movement on Bitcoin's
Mhm.
horizon too. But if a lot of money came into the market at once, what if everything just pumped? It happens sometimes. It happened near the end of the it happened at the end of the 2017 bull
Mhm.
market. And we could see it near the start of the bull market. Maybe alt season hasn't even truly started yet.
And
I just
that's been the idea that I've had for a
yeah,
while. Like, we all just get excited because we're in the here and now, but look at all the room there is. Like, alt season could just be getting started.
yeah.
And I think it's important to point out, like with Bitcoin, it's not impossible for it to just kind of consolidate here at that 11K, let those USDT pairs catch up. And with that, you're going to have your Bitcoin pairings coming up with it. Like, it just takes a little bit more time. But we're seeing things go way faster than we've expected here. So,
I agree. And keep in mind, guys, these areas are all ones I picked out like this weekend. Like this past weekend, I was looking with a friend of mine. I was like, where would we want to buy back into these things if they pulled
mhm.
back enough? So, like as you can see, price loves to pull back into consolidation areas. Like what you thought it was taking off. Oh wait, no, it's got to retest this consolidation area back here, guys. You get a grip. You got to hold on, and then you got to get a better entry area. And I love this entry area right here. I'd love to take that actually. Look how strong this bullish divergence is, because this is a lower low than this
Yeah,
is.
that is a lower low, so that's some pretty deep divergence.
Yeah, this is a super strong divergence, and it's an oversold time transformation signal. Man, let me in. Let me in.
And yeah, that's
Eric
that's
Andre,
basic
let me in. Let me
that's
in.
by the dip situation because,
Yeah. And
for
this is
sure.
Request Network. I think Request is one of the DeFi tokens. Guys, by the way, I'm sure a lot of you out there are like, what is a DeFi token? That's a really good question. As far as I can tell, the terminology is super loose, and people keep the terminology super loose so that they can use the term DeFi for their project, even though it's like not actually decentralized finance. So there's a lot of tokens that are like actually decentralized exchange tokens, like uh Kyber Network token and
Cabo?
yeah, Kava token. And like, are those real technically decentralized finance tokens? Well, I mean, I guess you can technically stake it, and yes, you get a percentage, but you're not really like locking collateral away in a smart contract the way you are with like Compound or something like that, or BAL.
Mhm.
Um, so I call them like DeFi and DeFi Lite. So DeFi Lite are like the decentralized exchange tokens, and people are going to call them DeFi tokens. And you know what? They'll pump like DeFi tokens because the market is human perception based. But I would not classify them as such. So
Mhm.
sorry. I guess I just kind of got off the rails there a little bit. But what's something I've been
No,
thinking of? I
I'm
can't be the
sure.
only one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people out there listening that took something from that because me myself, like, I didn't know very much about DeFi myself because
Mhm.
until Jack would talk about it just because of the news, and that's one of the reasons why I actually love being a part of this show because I get to learn so much more about the crypto markets that I don't know that Justin or Jack have a really good handle on.
Yeah.
I'm here to trade, baby.
Now, you see, guys, it looks like a nice retest of this point of control here, and maybe we do get a bounce here. But I gotta say, after looking at request and QKC and QLC, why would you take CND here? I mean, yeah, it's like lower, but QLC here is clearly a stronger token. We're already above resistance, so we can kind of like count on there being continuation. Like the trend is
Or at
established. We
least
broke through the trading range.
a swing failure that would give you the chance to get out.
Yeah. And we just don't have that on syndicator. As a matter of fact, if we retested this consolidation area down here, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense too. So I actually don't want to buy this spot on CND. I'm just gonna remove that here. Same situation here on Red Pulse Phoenix. We could easily retest this area down here. This is a strong consolidation area. So yeah, I don't like that. taking that off my list. Verge. Actually, what's this? That's right, boys. That's right, guys. Remember, scam tokens pump the hardest. So we all know what Verge is. We all know it's a piece of shit token,
Isn't
but
that porn coin?
it is porn coin. Yes, this is the Pornhub coin. So as you can see, we're falling right back into this order block right here. This order block, which had been resistance previously, as you can see, resistance, support, and then if this is support, you probably depend on continuation up into this area up here. What is this area? This is a good 300% right here. Let's do this one.
Yeah,
Check
I
this
mean
out.
those low ones are gonna be moving.
So yeah, I think if you guys bought some Verge right in this spot where we are right here, you'd
And
be
just
very well served. And
just
by the
forgot
way,
about it for a little bit.
I want you guys to know I drew this box. We were all the way back here. I drew this box back in June, but we're here now. We're here now. So
And it just did
onwards. All right. So
tap the very low, the
this is
very
just
bottom
what
of
I
that.
had marked out. This is what I looked at over the weekend with a friend of mine. Why don't we check through submit sats and then we'll be at the 2-hour mark and I'll turn things over to Jack. We'll call it.
All right.
How's
Let's
that
do it.
sound? All right. Let's run through this. Rune, not enough information. Stay out of it. SNX. This actually looks more like we could refill this and then break down more. I don't like it. This looks to me like a sign of weakness because we ended up below this consolidation area here. I wouldn't be surprised if we made an attempt on a new high, had a swing failure, and then broke down lower here, probably to this area right here.
Yeah, not very much data on that.
Yeah. This is like Swipe Bitcoin, so there's big things going on with Swipe right now. But I mean, it already had like a really strong pump before, so I would actually like to see more reaccumulation on that.
Yeah, down to that little two dojis, indecision dojis. I think you're gonna get reaccumulation down there, right around that range.
Yeah, I think you're right, right down here.
hmm
Um, I don't know what this is doing, and so I don't want to take it. Like a lot of the other ones,
There's way too
maybe
many
it's
good-looking coins out there to be
yeah.
looking at that.
This
Mm.
this could be just like a shakeout. This is technically kind of like bouncing off of the. We do see this happen where there's like a shakeout, and after the trend line is broken, I would not buy this unless we got back over.
You haven't seen any. Well, I guess you did see some break of resistance there.
Yeah, if we got back over this, buy it. Definitely, then it was a fake out / shakeout, and
I
we're good to
I
go.
I do like how it's coming up to the shelf of that very first
Yeah,
pump.
yeah,
So I
but
mean,
we could end up just being like, this is now support turn resistance. Bink, 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 bink. We don't break back through.
and then
Plunge to death. Yeah.
sink the ship. Yep.
So buy it back over support, guys. Don't buy it now. Don't buy. There's no reason to buy it in this area. Don't be foolish. There's so many good coins out there. Block stacks. This is been a strong pumper historically. I don't dislike this retest here. But maybe if we fell down to this area also, down here, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's just like I
Yeah.
said, not one I'm interested in, considering what we have
hmm
in the other market.
Yep. And Algo, which was the first one we looked at, as
It, wa-
much
it,
as
it was one of those front runners pumping, so I mean, it
yeah,
makes sense that it's having a pullback.
I do still like this spot. And even if we pulled back further, we pull back what to like maybe here, maybe
Mm-hmm.
here. It's still a good buy zone on
Couple
Algo.
hundreds at, yeah.
Yeah. Origin. I don't know. This is maybe if you're
Yeah,
buying it as like there's just stronger ones out there. We could pull back further on this.
yeah.
Hive, just no on Hive. Hive just keeps making new lows, guys. Until we I say until we're back into this trading range, just say no. Just say no. see what that is.
T-Dub, I think, is asking for BNB USDT. Can you slot that in? Thanks.
BMV?
Yep, BNB USDT.
Oh,
T-Dub, please.
BNB.
Yes, BNB.
Boom. Let's check
Binance.
it out. Yeah. Ooh. Hello, pretty lady. Yeah, this thing's ready to pop.
Yeah, I know we were talking about this one yesterday, the USDT pairing.
Yeah, we've been trying to find Bitcoin proxies, and just like Bitcoin is already pumped, but some of the alts haven't yet, and you want to kind of get into the USDT aspect of Bitcoin. So I guess I like this as long as we actually close above this level. And I mean, it looks strong here. You know what? I take it back. I think you should actually just buy here. I think we've already broken above resistance. This
That's the
is
exact same thing that I said about ADA and Neo. I think that they look almost identical to that chart. I
yeah,
think ADA is actually lagging a little bit behind why I think it's a good buy right now.
we're actually why don't we look at the Bitcoin pairing and we can maybe get a sense of Bitcoin versus BNB. Well, you don't have to think too hard. There you go, buddy.
Getting some movement out of it from the bottom there.
Please ignore this. I
Yeah.
was testing this. Ignore
We're in
that.
the
That means
Twilight
nothing.
Zone over here. Please ignore this.
Yes.
That, to be honest with you, looks like a good zone for BNB as well.
Hmm. Actually, I think we'll probably distribute a little bit more in this area and then fall down to here one more time. Oh, then again, I don't know. This chart looks a little bit like Bitcoin's bottom. Like this is, yeah, I mean,
Yeah. And I do
pumped
like
off the
that
bottom.
the
Bitcoin's
absorption that's coming
2018
off of
bottom.
that, because that wick for liquidity, there's oftentimes that you see the people wait for that next pullback and it just never comes.
Yeah. You can see we did like we did sort of retest this area
Yep.
down here. Like that's what this is.
Liquidity grab.
Firm possibility on BNB Bitcoin. Like maybe if you take the BNB USDT pair, most of your USD gains are going to come from Bitcoin. I'm not sure, but I don't dislike it here. I don't. So I think it's got some possibilities. Beam, as you can see, so
Ooh.
this is a classic example of what I mean by it's like yes, some of the consolidation areas look really nice, but it could always pull back further. So as you can see, this consolidation area did me fine right here. Got a good pump out of that, assuming you took profits. If you didn't, we retested this area down here. So I think this is probably a really good area to buy Beam at.
That would be another one of the DeFi tokens, wouldn't it?
No, this is a privacy token.
Okay, yeah. Like
It's like Beam and Zec and XMR and Grin and soon to be
right.
Litecoin. Litecoin's getting a Mimblewimble implementation in September. Oof, we missed this one.
Yeah.
I feel like with this wick right here, we might just see continuation. Yeah, we might just see continuation on Sol right here. It looks like supply just ran out. Sellers got exhausted here.
Yeah. And you'd think you'd see it up to that biggest point of control as well, which is quite a movement. So
This is, Sol has been strong right here. It would not be stupid to buy some Sol right here, and you could set a stop like right down here. Like if we got back below this area right here, invalidated, done.
yeah.
So I think there's an easy stop in this area. I think you could take Sol long here. I think it's a strong one. Okay. Kava. Kava is a DeFi token. Actually, Kava is a decentralized exchange token. It's DeFi light. So let's zoom out here. What we got here?
That's
We have a
resistance
retest.
becoming support.
Yeah, we have a retest of the previous highs. I think you could buy this here in a strong.
And you're about to get some bullish divergence, or is that already it? Like it looks really close.
It has not crossed yet. So So who knows? Like we could like pump back down
Yep.
and then end up back down here. I would be shocked though if we did that because as you can see, we consolidated so hard until we finally broke through this resistance. Like I was in this long. It's like 3 weeks I sat here waiting to probably break through resistance. Like we entered here around 1400, just waiting, 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 waiting. Doomp! And now we've retested this area. Yes, that's the sound that price makes when it goes through this.
Doom.
Yeah. Band, similar here, but I would be loath to take this continuation if I weren't already in band. I mean, we did retest this spot right here.
Yeah, I could see a
You
little bit.
already got the TSI cross under. I would wait for a new trending signal. I would not take a band reversal right now. We are already. This is like a good 150% pump from this area right here.
Yeah.
Band is already pumped. All right, next one. XTZ. Ooh. Did we retouch my area down here? Yes, we did. I like it. Pick up XTZ right here. Because we have good volume coming in here. But we had a throwback. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of expected that. You got to imagine that the people that are sitting here, they got their stops moved up and everything like that. Everybody is stopped out here. So that was my thesis, is that like these people would need to be stopped out. And they did. If you see here, this is a brand new low by like 3 sats. You know how it goes, guys. You know how it goes. Of course. Just a couple sats, but all those people are stopped out now. FTT. This looked good. Now it looks bad.
Now it looks bad.
Yep. As you can see, this looked ripe to take off right here. Now I'm not so certain. I wouldn't yeah. You guys remember a while back I told you all to buy here, and look what happened. We're back here. Should you maybe buy here again? That I don't know. Maybe a small position. Set a stop right below this white line was at roughly 6,900. That could work. Yeah, this could be a retest of resistance, turn support now. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I like it, especially the fact that, I mean, your consolidation zone, you had a little bit of a descending channel into a breakout, some throwback, another breakout, which was a higher high, which I really like, and then throwback again, and you're not making a lower low. That looks good.
Yeah. Okay. Zen has real possibility, guys.
I don't like that very much.
I would much rather own real Ethereum. Meh. This is EOS. Still has not taken off, guys. But when it does, look at the size. Look at the size of this. But
we did take the USDT pairing yesterday, though.
Yeah.
It's a group which already is hit and take profit one.
Which is good because I mean it was a good place to buy from a reversal perspective.
Mm-hmm. And it has seen some action today, so.
MCO, you guys were talking about this earlier. I don't need to cover it. Adam, what we got here? I don't know. This is a consolidation area right here. A strong point of control. But I don't know about it. I think I might like to see just like a little further pullback to like down here. But I don't expect anything like that.
Yeah, if it does, I would think it'd be a quick wick down into that area.
This is like Syndicator and like a lot of the other ones. This is just hanging back down near its lows, but it could fall further like this. And this is a 30% move, so I would be I think I want to see more pullback on this. I'd like to see a pullback down to this level.
Yeah, at least to touch the top of those wicks.
Well, it did
just once, though. I think like that rebound. I don't think that's enough. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of hard on those ones, right?
Yeah. There's stronger ones to take. There's the ones that have already broken resistance. Yeah, we've been saying this whole time, and I hope it's a lesson that you guys have learned, because it's one that I've learned, is that strength begets strength, weakness begets weakness, and if you buy into strength, price is more likely to continue appreciating. When you buy into something that's been going sideways, price is likely to continue going sideways, and when you buy something that's falling, price is likely to continue falling. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Same story with gas. Let's move on. Waves. Let's look at this on the weekly. I don't like it. It kind of looks like we got rejected from resistance again. I would imagine we're going to retest the bottom.
Yeah, definitely on the weekly, it looks like that would be the case.
Yeah, I would get out. But then again, we have rising volume and then falling volume on the dump. But weekly doji, nah, just don't do it, guys. There's better coins.
Yep.
Just say no to waves. Next, Walton Chain. I like this retest. Like that. I love to see it fall maybe a little farther down to here, but this is not bad. As you can see, I've done a lot of charting on this in the past. Similar story, this looks like. I would imagine we'll get a retest at the bottom.
Lows.
Yep.
That would definitely be a time to accumulate some WTC.
Yep. Interesting here. Maybe we're filling bags right here. I guess I would like to see a retest of this area.
At least
here.
that shelf for sure.
Yeah. But OMG is one of the stronger coins. Like, it pumped earlier than a lot of the other ones. So, something to think about. Or keep your eye on at least. Lisk, I don't like it.
Yeah, and that appears to be a lower low.
Sky. You know what? This could be just a throwback to the point of control.
Which wouldn't be a bad accumulation zone there.
Yeah. I mean, look at all the consolidating that was done here. Should we be surprised that price retested this area? I don't dislike this. I think you could pick up some Sky in this spot, and I think it would do you well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if we just take it to resistance, this is a nice move right there. Nano, similar story. I'd like to see maybe one more drop on Nano. ONT, similar story. Hypercash, similar story. And we were looking at Hypercash last week. Remember when it was like up here? Didn't it look so good right here?
Yeah.
We were like, this is it, Hypercash. Oh well. Good test the bottom right here. If you had to pick, like, oh, I want to buy in at the very bottom, this area is about where you'd be doing it.
Yeah, and then you could
easily invalidate it. Like, if you fall below there, that's it. Get out.
Lower low. Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
I like it because it's an easy invalidation. Like, that's something you got to look at for trade setups, folks. Is there's sometimes you look at something and be like, hey, trades are about 50-50. If I've got something that is giving me a big edge on it, maybe I should just take the trade because it makes sense. And even if there's like a 25% chance it works out, if you've got a 4-to-1 risk ratio on it, it's worth it.
Yep.
Especially you got to think about it like statistically like that.
And if you've been in these alt markets for any period of time at all, you understand that those type of movements are absolutely possible.
Anything can happen. I love this retest of this consolidation area right here, actually. This consolidation area, price loves retesting down here, and here we are. I think if TT gave the signal, I'd take it. I mean, let's see. I mean, we could close back down at the end of the day. Maybe we'd make 1, 2, 3 or 4 days of new lows. We'll see. But if TT gave a signal here, I would not be averse to taking it.
All right, I'm going to quickly cut in here, guys. I'm going to say hello to Explore707. He says he just joined the stream. My friend, please do subscribe. I'm glad you're here. He's asking, what are our thoughts on Ethereum? Can you enter it now? I think we might have covered Ethereum earlier, but since this guy just joined the stream, let's throw him a little bone. Let's throw Ethereum on the chart. Alex, what do you think? Can we enter Ethereum now? That's a good question for myself.
Sure. Let's take a look at a couple different things. Let's look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. and then we'll look at Ethereum USD. So Ethereum USD, as our viewers know, we took this trade like right here on the breakout of this pattern.
Mhm.
And I'm still in Ethereum Bitcoin right here. I was kind of expecting a pullback in this area. But if we pull back to here, I'm still in profit. I don't care. I expect continuation on this area. So being in Ethereum is bullish right now. I would love to see a pullback on Ethereum USD to maybe 280, 285, this area, if I could.
It
Let's
might
see
be
here.
one of those things as well because we could be looking at a consolidation point
Yeah, if
for
we could just
Bitcoin.
get if we could just get a retest of like these tops right here.
Might be a good one to fade
hmm
because you're not sure if it's actually going to test that top, but
Yeah, but this is a consolidation area, and I would
yeah,
love to
absolutely.
see this. Like, just come back down, retest this area, and then continue onwards. Maybe scare some people into some shorts right here. You know how people get.
Yep,
Um,
I do expect some continuation out of Bitcoin and ETH in the short term, like this
yeah,
week.
I would say if you can buy Ethereum under $300, it's worth it. Like, I
Mm.
don't know if it's going to be 285. I don't know if we might even get a pullback. It seems unlikely that we would get pull back in the 250s, but like, hey, anything can happen, like Jason said. So under 300, just get back in here. Yeah, this area right down here. Okay, well, you know what? I think that's been 2 hours. You guys want to call this?
Yeah, you got anything to wrap up
I
there,
think
Jack?
it's been long enough. Let me quickly scroll back over to the chat. Explorer 707 says thank you for the Ethereum analysis. Sean J has had a long since 190. I guess that's on Ethereum. Well, good job, Sean J. You've longed that like a
You have
pro.
killed it, bro.
Tony
Did this
Lope.
guy? Did you buy here? Did you buy here? Oh my goodness, this guy! Look at
Yeah, he
this.
was all over that order block.
Yeah.
Okay,
I should have been buying there myself, but now I kind of regret it. All right.
All right, now I'm sad.
Sean J, he's asking about ADA. Sean J, we covered ADA maybe 45 minutes ago. You might
Yeah.
have to scroll back to see
I do
ADA.
think Ada is a good buy today, Sean.
and there's something that you don't know. See, tomorrow is the testnet launch. So historically, testnet launches are the time to get out of a coin because the coin dumps after the testnet launches or the hard fork happens or the big news. It's normally buy the rumor, sell the news. We've had a long ADA run up to the testnet launch tomorrow. I think I would wait till the day after tomorrow to take a position. So just wait and see what happens
Well, that's a good
because
point.
taking a position on a big news day like that where you just don't know what's going to happen is too risky. There's a lot more risk that you don't know that you're taking. So I would advise against it for now. And that's the only reason. Like other than that, Jason's analysis of the coin was spot on. But there's like that's news that he did not know.
Yeah, that was not something that I knew about Ada.
Yeah. So Shelley testnet launches tomorrow. The ADA blockchain is going to be down. Better just not be in the coin. Or buy the rumor, sell the news. Just get out of the coin for a day or two. Just wait and see.
Yeah, and it could give you a great entry. So
Yeah, maybe
Sound
even get a
advice.
better entry.
All right. I
make
guess
sure
that's
to hit
gonna.
that like button, guys.
Yeah, for
We
sure, gentlemen. Hit the like. I'm sorry
we
once
know it's
again
not
if you.
Justin,
Yep.
but we'll do our best for you anytime we can.
Yeah, my apologies again to anybody wondering where Justin is today. Unfortunately, he had technical difficulties this morning. He wasn't able to get onto the stream, so we had to fire up an emergency stream with just the analyst tonight. But maybe we can get Justin in here later for an evening stream or something, just to give everybody in the audience an update. But I think we had a really successful 2-hour live stream with just the boys. I'm glad everybody was able to make it. Shout outs to our audience. And I'm also going to announce that yesterday we crossed over 9,000 subscribers. It's a huge milestone for Kraken Crypto.
9,000.
We are over 9,000.
Very excited
So
about that, guys.
get ready to crush your scouters in your hands. But this was it. This is a big one. So thank you to the audience. Thank you to all the subscribers. If you're watching right now, you're not subscribed. make sure you hit that subscription button right now. But that's it. Catch us in the Discord. We will be back with more analysis likely maybe tonight if Justin feels up to it, if not tomorrow. And any last words, gentlemen?
Put money into the crypto market. I don't know how, but like, you know, maybe Bitcoin, maybe shitcoins, like they all kind of seem pumpy right now. Screw the stock market. Crypto's where it's at.
Yep. That's why you're here anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
Right in there.
Well,
thanks for coming out, everyone.
For sure. GG, everybody. Thanks again for joining us. Catch us in the Discord. Later.
Peace.
Be well.